There are some movies that when you just watch, they absolutely are just breathtakingly beautiful. And not just like cinematography wise or visually, but also just story wise. And that's how I feel about Frankenstein, made by Guillermo del Toro, a goat in himself. Guillermo del Toro, I'm like, he's one of like the biggest inspirations I've had to want to become a filmmaker. It all started with his Hellboy movies, Pan's Labyrinth, and Kronos for me with him. Some absolutely amazing and beautiful movies. Some of them are action films, you know. It, it's hard to believe that it's made by the same guy who also made Pacific Rim, the first one at least, right? So it's like he can do it all. Just to name some other movies this man has made: Blade 2, The Devil's Backbone, Mimic. He did a remake of Nightmare Alley, I think it's called. I actually kind of like that movie. I didn't like it at first, but I love it now when I think about it more. Pinocchio. He's just a goat in his game. And one thing I've always loved about his movies is that he does practical makeup effects as much as possible. He is one of those directors, when he makes fantasy movies, they feel like true, absolute fantasy movies. And I'm glad that this movie, he shares he doesn't skip out on it. That's what I'm trying to say. He crafts this story perfectly, in my opinion. Now, I'm not going to act like I read the book. I bought the book. I started the book. Haven't finished the book. I saw some complaint about how, I'm sick and tired of seeing men. I saw a comment, I think it was yesterday, saying, can we please stop letting men make the Frankenstein movie? And I get that, because the story of Frankenstein was written by a woman, right? But I don't really necessarily see the problem. Maybe because I haven't read the book. But with the type of movie that I just watched and experienced, and the type of emotions, the type of love, heartbreak, realization that I just felt, I necessarily don't see what's wrong. I really don't. Jacob Elordi, I think that's how you say his name. I haven't seen too many movies with him. I only know him from Euphoria, which I'm not a big fan of. He played Elvis in Priscilla. You know, I was mixed about that movie as well. But this movie, holy hell. When we get to the part of the story of this movie, which I wasn't expecting myself, where we were getting a like Frankenstein story, the monster story, depending on who you want to call the monster. But his creation, Frankenstein's creation. When we got to his tale and his side of the story, I was completely locked in. Not even because it was action-wise. This movie is labeled as a horror. It has some frightening moments. But it's so much more than that. It's so beautiful, and it's so just a good deep look into the idea of death, and how one, has to accept that death comes for us all, and the consequences of playing God as human beings, and this need of having self-control. Of not self-control, but all control, like as if you are power, like as if you have to be more than what you are. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly on the best phrase, but that's just how I'm just gonna put it right now. And this movie captures it so beautifully. It captures the essence of death so beautifully, and it captures that some things are just far beyond our explanation, and rather it be death, or rather it be long living life, eternal life. And I'm so happy I got to see this in the theater that I saw it in. I saw this in a classic traditional theater called Screenland on Armour in Kansas. If you live in Kansas City or anywhere near Screenland, you need to go check it out. Please go support them, bro. They are working on a project right now as we speak to have a 35mm and 70mm screen, which I think is going to be done later this year or early next year. And it's a local theater, so it helps out. But man, it felt so right watching a movie as beautifully crafted as this was. This felt like a classical movie by Guillermo del Toro. So it felt just great watching the classical movie. It's been showing here. Excuse me, I'm having heartburn. It's been showing here for 3 days now, and it's still being sold out. Like, I saw a sign saying that the other showings were sold out, and it's so nice walking to a theater where you see on the big billboard screen up there promoting and advertising the movie. I love it. I love it. This is why I love cinema. I love this movie. So 1 out of 10. Well, let's just do 1 out of 5, okay? 1 out of 5. I'm gonna give this movie 4.5 stars. I'm not really sure what things they could have cut away from. I mean, it's a long movie. Maybe they could have cut some screen time, but I felt like every minute in this movie mattered. It pushed the story forward. Nothing was wasted. So I don't have any complaints. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5, and I'm pleased with that number. Anyways, being your boy Jargunza, peace.